What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
What is up, gentlemen?
We are back.
The three of us back together again. What up, Marvin? Welcome back.
Back in the pit of Satan's stomach. And
damn.
Well, it was hot as fuck here today, I should say.
Oh yeah.
Triple
hot
digits.
everywhere.
It's going to be like
109.
109 this week.
That's crazy.
Yep. It was 109 today. Of course, I did not go outside.
But you got that dry heat, Marvin.
Yeah.
Come out here where it's 60 to 80% humidity.
Gets pretty humid here as well. Not that bad, but
Yeah.
how we doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Nice. I'm a little annoyed. I'm just gonna come in hot.
Why?
Dusty.
You suing Adobe? Well,
No, that I don't even think that was like that big of a deal, to be honest. But
Nah. People make a big deal out of everything nowadays.
it was like whack for sure, but like it was quickly resolved, and the guy was like, "Yeah, we're not taking all your shit, so shut up." But anyhow,
They clearly would not just use your content without. Like, that's just asking for trouble.
I think people assumed they were doing it to like train AI, but you can't do that. There's so many designers and people that use Adobe software for like NDA'd projects that it would be such a breach of every law imaginable. Like there's no way a company would do that.
Yep.
the
true.
NFL's getting sued too.
Who is?
The NFL.
For what?
Because they planned with companies to keep the NFL ticket prices high so that they wouldn't piss off CBS and Fox in their locally casted free games.
Gotcha.
Damn. Is that a class action I can jump in and get $50?
Get in there.
Probably if you were a NFL ticket purchaser and they win.
Oh, no. Nah.
Okay. Well, I'm annoyed because Dusty, did you watch episode 4 of The Acolyte? Or did you not decide to hate watch it?
Yeah, actually I did watch it, yeah.
Are you still watching it, Marvin? You watched it before
No.
both of us. You were like, it's boring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can't.
Yeah, I watched episode 4. I'm going to finish it.
YouTube recap or something.
Nah, it's not even worth. I'm going to watch it just to finish it off because I am genuinely interested in the story, as you and I talked about, Dusty. But I've never seen a show get worse with each episode that goes on. That's actually something that's quite impressive. It's gotten worse with each episode so far. So that's kind of neat.
Money well spent.
I will say, though, I got to say, shout out to the people in our comments section. Very respectful. I'm very surprised. I don't know if you saw, Marvin.
High praise. I did.
Yeah.
We
got
talked.
some good comments.
Dusty and I talked about it last week, the first 3 episodes, what we thought about it. And a lot of people were just like, oh, wow, you guys have a really fair and balanced take. And they appreciated the fact that we weren't like rage baiting the way most other YouTube channels are. So you heard it here, folks. If you have not subscribed and you don't want rage bait, check us out. Hit that subscribe
The only
button.
honest people on YouTube.
I don't know about
Right
the
here.
only, but listen, man, I started saying I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed because, and we've talked about this before privately, I'm just going to say it right now openly. It's fucking sad, like how easy it would be for us to have like thousands and thousands of subscribers because rage bait is what drives the internet. And it's crazy. And we didn't even rage bait. Like the title that I chose could be considered clickbaity, but it's not. I was asking a genuine question. Is it really that bad? Because if you look anywhere on the internet, it's fucking the worst thing ever put on fucking television. Which
I mean, I rage baited Ryan Airy's Twitter thread or X thread.
but that's not even rage bait because you wrote something that's a genuine thought and feeling.
Right.
So I don't know. It bothers me that like we could have just sold out like everybody else does and just gone the rage bait route and like
well, either way, it's like Ryan Airy's tweet. It's like, look, we got the trolls with the cannon.
Well, because you see how the algorithm works, right? Like this video in particular, and some of the others we've done in the past, showcase how the algorithm works. I mean, obviously they say that it's meant to deliver videos to, of course it does, but it that's the idea, the ideal That's the Superman take of like, you know, Superman is what America could be, right? He's the ideal America strives to be. Well, the algorithm, what they explain it as is like, oh no, the algorithm is just meant to deliver things that people like to the people who like it. That's the ideal that it strives to be. But what it really does is it gives fucking things that people will engage with to those who are willing to engage with it. And that is rage bait.
Yeah. The algorithm is meant to keep you engaged.
Oh, Dusty, you're lagging.
Whether it's
bad.
good or bad engagement.
You're back. Yeah, no, exactly. And the video, the Acolyte video that we did is doing better the more people engage with it. And the more people engage with it, the more and more people are going to engage with it. That's just how it works. So it like snowballs. So it's like, I don't know, it just sucks because you could just do something. And I'm not complaining. I think we've built a very healthy amount of... Whoop, there he goes. Oh.
Darkness is.
Hey,
Damn.
Marvin, I saw your tweet
He
the
was
other
lagging.
day, too, by the way. I was fucking like, oh, shit. You never say shit like that in front of me.
That's from a song.
Is
those
it?
are lyrics.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, so, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. There he is. He's back.
He's back.
It's just kind of crazy to me that, like, you know, I'm very happy with our growth over the last year and a half to 2 years. I think that it has been healthy and steady and natural. And I'm happy.
Great equity curve we got.
Yeah, well, I'm just happy because we genuinely, when we sat down and talked about doing this, we're like, hey, we want it to be like a group of friends just sitting around talking about movies they like and shows, and the audience being in on that. And that's what we're doing. And so that's cool. When other channels, we could have just taken the easy route and gotten fucking huge based off of bullshit like people I won't mention because I don't think you're allowed to do that. But yeah, that's all I want to say. It was a little bit of annoying, but we appreciate all the nice comments. Keep them coming in. If you have not subscribed yet, consider doing so. We're cool people, and this video proves it. That's all I wanted to say. So,
okay.
Yeah. Episode 94.
94.
Yeah. And we're talking about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare a little bit later. But before we get to that and the news and all that stuff, how have you guys been doing? What's going on?
Been pretty good.
Yeah.
I've just still been playing a lot of multiverses. Pretty fun.
Nice.
I also finished watching Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, finally. Yeah. You liked it?
Finally. Yeah. No, it was great. I loved it. Yeah. Super good.
Did you go through Reddit and see all the hidden ghosts? Like
no,
the ones you weren't supposed to see unless you saw them?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I saw that video you sent me and that was cool. I'm sure there's more. I didn't go through Reddit yet.
I think the official count is like 130 something ghosts that show up.
Yeah.
I always love shit like that. It's a great show though. The show's genuinely good, I thought.
It was great, yeah. Some of the best like transitions I've ever seen, I feel like. Just ever. Like they were transitioning like, and they did it a lot too, but it never got old. It was pretty.
What do you mean, like cuts
time.
from scene to scene?
No, like transitioning, like and he's pouring something and it transitions to something else, but they were doing it like from
scene changes then, like
present. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I see
like
what you're
actual
saying.
Pouring like
pouring a glass in present day, and then when you
somebody
pull
else
back,
is pouring something.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like,
No, that's
and they were
super
jumping
cool.
from past to present. Yeah, it was really good. I thought it was awesome.
Was this
Great
your
show.
first Mike Flanagan thing you've watched? Because I've talked about him a lot here on the show.
Yeah, I think it was the first.
I praise him quite a bit. I think his one issue I have with him, and I don't know if it's him or if it's just a Netflix thing, a lot of his shows, Hill House included, Midnight Mass was an exception.
Yeah.
And his movies aren't really like this, but his shows have this like weird lighting thing about them where like they're lit like not great and they look like sort of like soap opera-ish. I don't even know if it's
I could see that. It felt a little
it
felt a little maybe like network television-ish.
A little bit,
as far as like some of the shots were beautiful though.
Yeah,
and some of the
totally
cinematography and stuff was great.
He's just I just really like he he's just like a horror fan, and that really comes through in his stuff. Like everything he makes is like a love letter to some other horror thing, not
Right.
specifically a thing, like a genre, right? And that's really what I like about him. So yeah, Haunting of Hill House is fantastic.
It was great. Yeah, episode 5 was definitely like the best episode ever. That's when Nellie she commits suicide with hanging herself, and like you found out that she was the one that was haunting
the bent
her
neck girl.
younger self.
Yeah. That's the big twist.
Crazy. Yeah.
That's the other thing too about his stuff is like it has genuine emotion to it. It's not just like horror for the sake of it. Like there's jump scares.
Oh, not at all.
There's jump scares in, especially the one in the car. That one fucking got me when I watched that show. Like,
that was actually like had me jump.
Like there's jump scares for sure, but they're not cheap, I don't think, and also they're not overused in his stuff. And also, most of that show is like very heartfelt. Like you feel for these people, and like I've cried in Haunting of Hill House. I cried in The Haunting of Bly Manor, which you asked if we should watch.
Close.
I cried in fucking Midnight Man. Like he's just a really good writer, and I think I'm really glad that he got the Exorcist franchise to play with. While I don't want more Exorcist movies, I think if somebody's gonna do it, I'm glad it's him.
Like you said, with the tying in the emotion and like having like a heartfelt moment, and then it be like a jump scare like a couple of seconds later, like that just makes it hit that much harder. It's like the fucking sweet and spicy, like it's just is insane.
And the big dude who was haunting the little kid, I forget his name, the boy, Luke, his ghost, the big fucking dude with that guy was scary.
7 foot tall guy.
Yeah.
That guy was fucking crazy, just floating around everywhere.
But like, this it's not really about a haunting. Like it is, but it's like the ghosts are stand-ins for trauma. And like how you're haunted by your past and your family and your parents' trauma that they pass on to you. And it's just, I don't know, it's just really, really well done. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yep, I definitely did. I don't know if Bly Manor, I want to watch it, but I mean, it's not a direct tie-in, right? It's not like it's
like a spiritual
sequel.
Successor.
Yeah,
it's all the same actors.
Maybe I'll just go to,
it's very good. It's not as scary, I would say, but it's still very good.
Yeah,
but
I might
like
check it out.
Midnight
I do
Mass.
want to watch Midnight Mass though.
Midnight Mass is a fucking must watch. That one, like you're fucking up if you don't watch it. But he's turning in The Haunting into an anthology series. So it's like The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor. Like, I don't know if there's going to be more, but I guess similar. I don't know if there's going to be more.
I mean, like the same actors, like it's like that type of thing.
Yeah, I don't know if he's
same actors.
Well, the last thing he did was The Fall of the House of Usher, which was also very good.
Okay.
And that one's like a little bit different. That one's based on who the fuck is why can't I think of it? The Raven. Who wrote the fucking Raven? What is wrong with me? I'm having a brain fart. Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, thank you. Fuck.
Oh.
It's based on like Edgar Allan Poe stories. Each episode sort of has like a theme from one of Poe's stories. So that was also very good. He's the good horror guy. I think he's great. And
I did see Oculus. I feel like I saw that movie.
Yeah.
And that one was pretty good. I don't know if I saw the
Hush was very good.
Origin of Evil. I don't think I saw that.
I think
2016.
One of the things I think he's done the best. I mean, I love his shows, but the Midnight Club too. I forgot about that. That was also really good, and that got canceled, I think.
Ooh.
But Dr. Sleep was a really good movie. Dusty, have you seen Dr. Sleep?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Dr. Sleep is the sequel to The Shining. Okay, The Shining, the movie, based off the book written by Stephen King. The Shining is famously hated by Stephen King, the film. He doesn't like what all the changes that were done for the film that Stanley Kubrick did. He's been like famously vocal about it through his career.
I never read the book, but
great book.
I did see the movie. As a kid, though, I haven't seen it in a very long time. And
Might
it felt pretty scary.
Maybe it goes on a list.
As a kid.
It's definitely scary as a kid. I mean, it's still scary. There's a lot of stuff in The Shining that's great. But here's the thing about The Shining. It's in the cultural zeitgeist. It's like that big of a fucking movie. Everybody knows The Shining. But everybody knows the movie because it's a visual thing you put on it, right? It's like up there with Star Wars, I would say. Like for a horror film, it's like it's that big. So when people think of The Shining, they're not thinking of Stephen King's book. Unless you've read the book, you're thinking of the movie, right?
Right.
So Dr. Sleep, Stephen King wrote the sequel to the book not too long ago, and then the movie came out. But because Stephen King is so like against the film and the movie is so popular, Mike Flanagan with Dr. Sleep, the movie, had to be like, well, to his credit, he respected both the book, The Shining, and the film that everybody knows and loves. So when you watch the movie Dr. Sleep, it's very like respectful to Stephen King's vision and also the movie that Stanley Kubrick made famous. So it's like I thought that like balancing act was like very difficult to do, and I found it very impressive that he was able to pull it off.
That you can easily fuck up trying to appease two different visions. So
I mean,
the fact that was able to pull it off.
Look at Disney.
Maybe I'll check it out.
Call for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most people would have just been like, probably just made a sequel to the movie, right?
That's the easy route.
That's the easy route, but he didn't do that, which I respected. So that's cool.
Yeah. Besides that, last night we watched Silent Night with
Is that the one we watched here for the pod?
No, that's the one with Joel Kinnaman, I think that's his name.
Oh, you watched that one.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's the one where he doesn't.
That's the one
talk,
where it's like it's the John Woo or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was actually really, really, really bad.
It's got a 5.3, so yeah.
Yeah, 5.3 sounds about right. It was not
It was
good.
all right.
Did you watch that with your mother-in-law?
Yeah, it was me, my mother-in-law, and C.
Nice.
We all watched it. It was C's suggestion. She had been wanting to watch it.
Kid Cudi's in it? The fuck?
He's a freaking cop. Yeah,
That's hilarious. Was he good?
It was just not good. He was all right.
Damn, he's got a crazy real name. I didn't even know that. Scott Ramon Seguro Muscundi. The fuck? Muscudi.
Yeah, Muscudi. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
I don't know if Joel Kinnaman is a good actor after watching this movie. I feel like I saw him in a couple of things. I saw him originally in The Killing, which was a really good show, but I think he was just carried by the other actress and just the show being so well written.
I tried to watch that with Dusty, but we never finished it.
You guys should finish it. It was really good.
I've finished it.
But they canceled it, I think.
I've seen the whole series. I was trying to watch it with Dusty because he hadn't seen it, but he kept falling asleep every time we watched it together, and then it just kind of like it
It's a slow burn.
It's a great show. I love it. It's one of my favorite. The first season is one of my favorite. Well, the first two.
Yeah. What else did I watch?
He was in For All Mankind, which is
Altered Carbon, and that was just like a sci-fi, cool show. The show was cool.
He's in your
show.
Then
he was
Marvin.
in For All Mankind. Yeah, but he's just playing. I mean,
I haven't watched that yet.
It wasn't. The show was good.
He did
I don't
House
think he
of
was
Cards
that great.
too. He did a season or two of House of Cards.
Yeah.
Did For All Mankind get canceled too?
No, I think the fourth season.
No, they just
had a
released
fourth
new season. I'm pretty sure.
I gotta catch up on that one.
Maybe just watch the first two seasons or something.
See, I can't.
It starts to fall off.
See, that's the thing. That's why I felt it when you and I were gonna go start it. That's why I never stuck with it. I was like, this doesn't got the legs to fucking keep going. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now, see, I can't go and just watch 2 seasons and be like, all right, fuck it. Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I don't know if he's a good actor.
He was in Suicide Squad. He was pretty good in that, I thought.
Oh yeah.
The Suicide Squad. He's hit or miss. I don't think he's the best.
He's
but
hit or miss.
He's not the worst. Let's just say. Yeah. Run All Night's a good movie. Did you ever see that one?
I didn't see that one.
Dusty, did you ever see that one?
Yes, I have. It's all right.
It's not too bad.
But I thought, like I said, I thought Silent Night was decent as well. I didn't think it was terrible, but
yeah, you get better.
Watchable.
That shit was wild.
John Woo.
Dusty, he's he's got some leniencies in him.
It's weird, you know.
Yeah.
He has leniency for the shitty movies, but he'll never give a movie a 10.
Nah, he
so
won't.
it's like some
Yeah.
weird thing
No.
there. It's like he prefers mid.
Speaking
it
of
seems.
10s,
I'll
Marvin.
tread water in the close to B movie ratings. There's some great movies out there.
there are totally.
True.
Speaking of
And then
10s,
there's
Marvin,
some that are just so bad they're funny.
that is true
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Speaking of 10s, I gave Love Lies Bleeding a 10. Marvin, did you end up watching it?
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually never got to even
Ooh.
watch it.
You gotta watch.
It's worth.
Is
It's
it
worth.
worth?
Okay.
It's a 10 out of 10. Dusty gave it a 9, I
I-
think, right? No, you gave it an 8 or something,
No,
7.5.
I did not.
Oh, yeah, you're weird. I don't know what your deal is with that one.
He loves it. I don't know.
Nah,
Something
that-
going on there.
That was a 10 out of
7.5 or 8, I think is what I gave it.
Yeah, it was high. That was a 10 out of 10 though, Marvin. You gotta go watch that shit.
Damn. I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
It was very good. Yeah, I haven't watched anything either this week, really. I just caught up on The Acolyte because I'm genuinely curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
And then I watched the original Star Wars, coincidentally, with a friend of mine. It's good for a watch, like once a year. The original.
Yeah.
I saw a
Give or take,
funny.
yeah.
I saw a funny video today on Twitter. People so. There are a lot of people are like pretty much. I think most normal people are on the same page with The Acolyte, where it's like it's just not good. You know, like Dusty and I said, it's just not good for a variety of reasons that don't have anything to do with what the loud people are talking about. Right?
Basic ass,
Right.
generic ass characters
Totally.
moving around doing basic
Yeah.
ass, generic ass shit.
Well, but now Disney is going around and saying like, well, if you don't like this, you're sexist and you're racist, which seems to
Nice.
be the typical playbook. Like, you don't like that our lead is a female, therefore you're sexist, or you don't like that our lead is black, you're racist, this, that, and the other thing. And I get why Disney does it, is because like they're not going to be like, no, we put out a shit product and you guys are right. They're just going to try to fucking like and
Salvage it. Yeah.
but see, that's the problem, because that's what gets all these fucking woke people or anti-woke people up in arms, because there is valid criticism to throw at Disney for doing shit like that. I'm not fucking racist because I don't like the show, nor am I fucking sexist. I just think the show is not well done. You didn't like it. Are you racist, Marvin? Are you racist against black people? That'd be crazy.
No.
I mean, it's definitely possible because that chick Candace Owens exists, so it's definitely a thing. But like, fuck, like it's so stupid. But then I did a little digging. I didn't know this. Did you
It's a
know?
cop out.
Well, did you know that BlackRock owns like a major stake in Disney?
Mm-mm.
Did
I
you
did
know
not
that,
know that.
Dusty? So
Yeah.
BlackRock, for those of you that don't know, is
They own everything.
they're an American
People, they own
multinational investment company. They're one of the people that they have 10 trillion in assets under management as
Yeah.
of December
One of
of
the largest hedge
2023.
funds in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. They manage more money than anybody.
If there's a
else, really.
war, they're making money off of it. Fucking Israel
Oh, yeah.
shit, there's fucking shit in the Ukraine. Like BlackRock's making money off of that shit. So BlackRock is one of the biggest investors in Disney. I think they own one of the biggest shares. And there's another company that I was reading about. Oh, the Vanguard Group. That's right. How could I forget? My 401k was under Vanguard. They're one of the other biggest investors into Disney. Okay.
Mhm.
These are the people that are making the decisions. This is why I wanted to like say. So it's like, you know, progressives like me get a bad fucking rap for shit products that are coming out. You're just trying to force your fucking woke ideology down our throats about inclusion and this, that, and the other thing. And it's true. Disney does seem to be doing that, but it's not a creative choice. It's a fucking money choice, because these companies are run by executives. All they know is money. They don't know about being creative. They don't know anything. And what their brain thinks, this is what I really believe. Because people are like, the Disney's pulling a psyop and all this other crazy bullshit. It's like, no, dude, nobody's trying to turn you gay by watching Star Wars. Star Wars is one of the biggest
It's an
IPs.
agenda.
Yeah, Star Wars is one of the biggest IPs on the planet. That IP logically can rake you in a whole fuck ton of money. Okay, as an executive, how do we make as much fucking money as possible? Well, put it in front of the faces of the biggest audience possible. And how do you do that? In the mind of a fucking dumb executive, make a female lead and we'll rake in the female audience. Make a black character, we'll bring in the black audience. when generally that's not how it works. Make a good product and people will watch it regardless of race or gender.
Make a compelling character
exactly.
that has a compelling story that you want to watch.
That's too hard.
That's all it is.
Listen, Barbie is the perfect example of what we're talking about. Barbie was not made for 3 guys. One of which looks like he just thawed out of the fucking eye. I'm kidding. Barbie was not made for us. My friend Tori said that, like, when she got pissed off when we were like talking about it, like 3 dudes, she's like, wow, I didn't realize like this movie wasn't made for everybody. It was made for like me. I'm a girl. Like, it was made for me. A woman who grew up and like knows about like the relationship between a mother and a daughter. Like, but we still all liked it because it was a good, funny movie. Well, Marvin called it mid, but like he still said it was like enjoyable and funny and all this stuff, right?
It was cool.
But like,
it was mid though.
That's
well,
fine.
That's the great thing about cinema is like we can all enjoy something for different reasons.
I know.
And some people can like it more because they relate to it on a more personal level.
Exactly. But that's what I'm trying to say. Barbie's the perfect example of what we're talking about because that didn't seem like a studio trying to fuck it. Like, it didn't give a fuck if like it had a male audience. So I don't know. I saw this thing today on Twitter and it was like, it was footage of people in the 80s going into a theater and coming out of a theater for the premiere of Return of the Jedi. And the whole point of the video was to show how diverse the Star Wars fan base was. There was black people, there were Asian people, there were women, there were white guys. There was like all up the spectrum.
There still are.
I know there are. That's the whole point of the video. So it's like you can't sit here and say that these longtime fans who are a diverse group of people are now just suddenly racist and sexist because your shitty show has a female lead.
Yeah.
That's the problem with putting sometimes activists in charge of things instead of artists, because you get this where
but that's what everybody's saying is that
you get some of this product and the fans are like, we don't like that. And then they denigrate the fans are like, no, this is perfectly fine. You're the problem. Well, it's not the product. It's you. That's as a company, that's like fucking committing suicide. You're like,
yeah, but that's what they do.
Mean, what the So yeah,
that's what Disney does every single time people don't like the shit. And to be fair, there are people who don't like it specifically because of race or gender or whatever. A lot of people shit on the Hulk because she's a woman. That show was not that bad. It wasn't great, but it was funny and like entertaining. The CGI was terrible. Sure, I'm not saying it was devoid of problems, but I'm saying like for them to just like curl up and be like, no, you're racist and sexist, like that's ridiculous. And you're turning away, your fan base is going to revolt against you and do but here's the thing, here's my final point. I don't think that Leslie Headland's a fucking activist. Like, she happens to be a gay chick. I've seen her other shit. She's never written like activist shit into it, so I don't think she's doing that here. I just think she was just the wrong person for the job. Okay, but I don't think Disney this is the real problem that nobody seems to be talking about. Disney doesn't give a fuck whether their shit is good or bad, whether it's woke or not. Disney does not have an agenda other than making money. If people are talking about it the way people are talking about The Acolyte, that's all they care about, because it's about engagement, it's about clicks, and those generate money. That's it. Disney doesn't give a fuck if you don't like The Acolyte. What's going on in the background? What's being played? I'm trying to make it out, but I can't see.
Oh, it's Elden Ring.
Oh, okay.
New DLC is out.
Oh, shit. Yeah, they don't care if you like it or not. I hate to tell you that. So, like, you might as well just right now make the decision of, like, you could watch a thing and be like, nope, not for me, never watching it. It's like, that's fine. You know? I talk about it all the time. Halloween 1, the original. That's the only movie in the series that I acknowledge as canon.
Right.
The Halloween movie comes out tomorrow. I'll watch it because it's fun, and I'm going into it with just like okay, here's another Halloween movie. But that first one, that's my movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People can't like separate. Like, I don't know.
That's a different type of canon. Like,
I'm just saying franchise stuff.
Halloween has been retooled and rebooted and redone and restored. Like, Star Wars has a very long developed
but what I'm trying to say
canon.
is, I know, I totally get it. But what I'm trying to say is I don't think there's anything wrong with, at least for me personally, ignoring other parts of a franchise because you don't like them. Like, Star Wars. If you only like the original trilogy, That's okay. Just only watch the original trilogy from now until the day you die. You don't have to engage with all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's an aspect of it too. But main point, Disney doesn't give a fuck if you like their shit. They only want you talking about it, and that's what you're doing. So like everybody thinks they're like revolting by like canceling their subscriptions and like making comments on YouTube. You're only feeding into the machine. Like they don't care.
Well, I don't think they want.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess talking about it, I don't know. If people are talking bad about it, that's not going to make people watch it necessarily.
Like, I think it does. I only watched it.
So.
Well, so you weren't here last week, but I don't know if you saw. Well, did you watch the Acolyte video that we put up? Because I mentioned I only watched it because of I don't know. I don't know if I put this into the video. I was in Landmark's chat on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I said to Dusty, I think he woke up that day and like chose chaos because he said in Landmark was like, yo, chat, is the Acolyte as bad as everybody says it is? And like fucking everybody lost. It's woke, it's this, it's that, it's pandering. So I was like, all right, now I have to watch it. So I'm a good example. I specifically watched it because everybody's bitching about it. I was like, there's no way it's as bad as people are saying. I got to watch it. It's bad, but you know. So I don't know. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I wonder if most people think that way or if
maybe
they hear it's bad and they're like, well, I'm never watching it then if everyone's saying it's bad. I don't know. I like to see some data behind that.
We're in an interesting time. I mean, we were talking about the shows earlier about how they're tooling back and all these corporate companies, and we even talked about like the company that follows the number of people in the LGBTQ that are in shows and cinema and how those numbers have declined. So they're like reeling back, and I think because of COVID and the strike, and then now AI, they don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. But I think we're seeing a lot of uncertainty with the way that some of these companies have gone about making money, because after the first 3 fucking, Marvel chapters, everybody thought they could jump on the ship and do some stuff, but then we got hit with a couple bombs, and now everybody's like, okay, well, that's not working anymore. People aren't watching this shit. Like, I think we're in a bit of a retooling phase for like everybody, like even Warner Brothers. They lost what, $200 million on the Suicide Squad game. They only spent $175 million to make the damn movie, and they lost $200 million on the fucking game. So I don't.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
What did you get up to this week, Dusty? Anything? Did you watch anything new or different?
I'm not really watching anything different. House of Dragon, Mayor of Kingstown. Actually, I did start Presumed Innocent.
I heard that was decent. This one with
episodes.
Jake
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. A little spicy, but yeah.
Spicy is in like sex stuff.
I mean, he's like the he's the lead DA or whatever, and a girl got murdered, and he had an affair with her that his wife knew about, but he rekindled it, and she didn't know about it. And he's like the main suspect. So it's one of those kind of crime whodunit type deals.
I did actually watch the first episode of House of the Dragon. I thought it was really good, actually.
Yeah,
nice.
Good so far.
Yeah. The second episode is apparently 72 minutes.
Nice.
So that's crazy.
It comes out tonight, right? It should be out, actually, shouldn't it? Yeah,
I think so.
All right.
I just want to read a little quote here real quick, because Kathleen Kennedy, like, she don't give a fuck. She just like stokes the fires.
Of course.
But she said, my belief is that storytelling does need to be representative of all people. That's an easy decision for me. Operating within these giant franchises now with social media and the level of expectation, it's terrifying. I think Leslie has struggled a little bit with it. I think a lot of the women who step into Star Wars struggle with this a little bit. Because of the fan base being so male-dominated, they sometimes get attacked in ways that can be quite personal. Okay. It's like, that shit happens. But, like, again, you can't take you can't just say the whole fucking fan base is toxic, toxic men because they don't like a fucking thing. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so crazy.
Again, though, like, what do you expect? Yeah, you have a men fan base, and you tell the men, step aside. We're gonna let the women take over Star Wars for a little while. Sorry about it, guys. Hope you don't mind. There's gonna be some pushback.
I also think that storytelling should be representative of all people because guess what? We live on a planet of diverse people. But that does not mean that everything has to have diversity in it, right?
Right.
I think we all agree on that. I don't think that's such a shocking or like crazy thing to say. You know, if you make a move, like I'll never forget like when Call of Duty, which one was it? Or was like
it the AI?
No, I was thinking of like
the AI that they censored so much that it wouldn't make white people. No. So like somebody said, draw a picture of Nazis, and it was a bunch of black Nazis because it would create white characters.
I can't remember if it was Battlefield or Call of Duty, but one of them had black Nazis, and I'm like, that's just ridiculous. There were not black Nazi soldiers. It's just there weren't. That's crazy. So it's like I don't know. People do get out of hand with it, but like both sides are fucking stupid sometimes, and like I don't know. I'm just so sick of everything because here we're talking about a movie today that's like just fun and original and good, and like I barely fucking heard about it. I totally forgot it existed until we brought it up. Like it came out in April, went on fucking streaming 2 months later. Like what?
Oh yeah, I mean I watched it, said it was good.
I know.
Finally got around.
I'm just saying, like this, like I don't know, whatever. Anyhow, what do we got in the news this week, Dusty? Anything good?
Well, I mean, we're talking about shows. We have a date, gentlemen.
Oh yeah.
Sunday, November 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern.
And he's not in it,
the
right?
Finale. I think it's at Eastern and Pacific, so because it's airing.
It's only one. Wait, it's one episode.
Also be available. The finale of Yellowstone is finally happening. The second half of season 5 is set to begin on Sunday, November 10th.
I read that he wasn't in it though.
Kevin Costner is likely out. Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Like he died off screen? Like I don't even.
He said he started talking about it a little bit more. Basically, he said he would be willing to come back if he has some control on the way that John Dutton goes out because he knows that this is the finale. But Taylor Sheridan's like, yeah, no, fuck you, man.
I'm surprised Taylor Sheridan let it get this far, to be honest.
Well, right. I mean, some of it was out of his control. You know, there was COVID, and then there was the strikes, and the timing of Kevin Costner wanting to make his movie and getting tired of being delayed by set stuff on Yellowstone. So he just said, fuck it. I mean, and I respect him for doing that, but I also understand why people are pissed off that he just abandoned the project. And now we've been in limbo for the second half of the season for 3 years now, almost, guys. How long has it been?
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't even remember when the last season aired. I know we had covered it, so it has to be within the last 2 years during the podcast. Okay. Well. But also, I couldn't, if you paid me money, I couldn't tell you what the last season was about. I think it was like...
They were taking a trip somewhere.
No, he became governor.
Yeah, they were going down to Texas, right? Or to Colorado or something. They were leaving the ranch.
He became governor, and then like something was going on with like the Native American dude, and like, I don't even remember. Yeah, Janie was like going to have him killed with that bitch. I don't know. Whatever.
That's what a lot of comments I saw in the story that I read is people were like, how long do you expect us to wait? Most of us don't even care or know anymore. So
they fucked it.
Yeah, we'll see. Well,
whatever.
And we actually had a lot of nice viewership with our Yellowstone content. So that was tragic, but
it is what it is.
Well, it is what it is.
We'll cover one of the side stories if it's good. But speaking of Sheridan, Chris Sheridan. He adopted the story and serves as showrunner. NBC Universal has renewed Resident Evil Alien for a 4th season. Dan, did you hear about this?
Didn't even know that it was a show. Oh, Resident Alien. You said Resident Evil Alien. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fucked me up.
Just had a stroke, I guess. Yeah, Resident Alien. They renewed it for a 4th season, but they're also moving it from Sci-Fi to USA.
That's generally what happens.
This is a step up for NBC.
Dude, that is.
So, yeah.
Let me tell you something about it. Sci-Fi. This is their shtick. This is their MO, and it's great. They produce like a banger, and then they just sell it off to another network. They're doing it with this show, obviously.
Well, no. NBC Universal owns USA Network and
Sci-Fi. So they're just like moving sibling. It. Oh, okay.
NBC Universal is moving it from Sci-Fi to USA. They're sibling networks. So
I thought it was
Sci-Fi
another.
Is like the sibling. Sci-Fi will do stuff, and if it's good, they'll kick it up to another network.
I thought it was another,
like you said.
I thought it was another Expanse situation. But no, Resident Alien's great. It's a really good show. I love it so much.
Did you read the comic, Dan?
No.
I didn't even know it was a comic. Dark Horse Comics.
I didn't either.
Resident Alien is a
know it was a
comic
comic.
book.
I didn't either.
Put it on my list right now.
I did find out that one of the stars of the show, Alice Wetterland, she streams on TikTok. I saw her the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I hit her with a
Is
follow.
doing
After the
NPC
first
or-
celebrity got
No,
onto
no.
Twitch 10 years ago, I was unimpressed about celebrity streaming. So,
That's fair.
yeah.
She's not like a celebrity. She's like,
Well, sure.
low key.
This is some old news, kind of, but we didn't talk about it because I was gone, and then I forgot to bring it up because I had some links that I didn't put in the news last week. Hostile TV series in development with our boy Paul Giamatti set to star. Did you hear about this one, Dan?
I did. Don't really care though. Hostel are like not good movies, but maybe the show will be good. Paul Giamatti generally doesn't put himself in bad stuff.
Yeah. It's like a new twist on it. Eli Roth is involved with the show.
That means it's not going to be good. Sorry.
Franchise producers Chris Briggs and Mike Fleiss also coming on to help. Roth and Briggs are going to write, and Briggs is going to direct.
Okay. That could be interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, listen,
we
I
got
like Paul
another-
Giamatti, so that trumps it, I think, for me.
Okay. We got another Penguin trailer. Did you guys watch the latest Penguin trailer?
Did
It
not.
actually
no,
looks
I
pretty
need to.
good. We got Oswald
I
in a
can't wait.
bloody fight to take over control of the They're calling it the Falcons. It's Falcone, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know. It's always been written. I think they called it Falcone in The Dark Knight, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess it's open for
don't know.
interpretation.
But they're calling them the Falcons. So this is basically Oswald. After the trailer starts off with the flooding of Gotham, and then it just looks like just an all-out fight to take over the.
Is
Falcons
Batman
family.
in this show? Like, I don't understand.
I don't believe so, but it looks like I watched the trailer and it looks really good. It looks like they're setting up the Penguin to be the big bad and the Batman too.
Yeah. You're
So-
excited, you said, Marvin?
What's up?
You said you're excited for this?
Oh, I am super excited. Yeah. I mean, because I enjoyed the Batman.
Yeah.
It also jump started our podcast.
It did. I might have to rewatch it. I just did not like that movie. Like, I didn't hate it. I was just like, I don't know. What is what it is? I don't know. I fucking don't like anything these days. Nah, that's not true.
Well,
Well, go ahead.
randomly, we were talking about what we were watching earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finally convinced I'm gonna watch The Wire with C. And I've been like trying to get her to watch it forever.
Nice.
So that's gonna be fun.
When are you going to watch
Yeah.
season 1 of True Detective, Marvin?
That's another thing we're gonna watch together.
Why don't you watch
Yeah.
that first?
Put it on the list.
That'll be easier for sure.
One
The
season,
Wire's
10
How many
episodes.
seasons?
Wire's 4 seasons, 3 seasons? I forget. 3, 4?
Four.
The 4? I forget.
Probably 4.
I
Something
think
like
it's
that.
4. Yeah.
Then you got to watch The Sopranos with her.
Yeah.
Has she watched that?
Mm.
Nope. She hasn't watched that either. She hasn't watched Game of Thrones. She hasn't watched
Shit.
anything.
Damn.
She's like She's like a hipster with that stuff.
She just hates white people. That's what I'm kidding.
Well, The Wire, I mean,
No, that's true.
like more black people.
No, I meant Sopranos and then then Game of Thrones. Nah,
Oh,
I'm just-
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
I'm just joking. No, my friend's a hipster like that shit too. I get it. Like, if it's popular,
If it's popular, she don't want anything to do with it.
No.
Like Breaking Bad, she hasn't
Yeah.
seen Breaking Bad. I'm like, you haven't seen Breaking Bad.
unless she's probably not this bad, but one of my friends, like he'll die on a hill. Like, we've seen some stuff that's so fucking bad, and he'll be like, nah, I fucking liked it. And it's like, dude, there's no
Oh,
way you
God.
like
Right
that
on.
fucking thing. No. Somebody you guys don't know. You never met him, but like, I remember one time. Remember that movie, The Spirit, that Frank Miller directed? Dusty.
Yeah, sounds familiar vaguely, but
It was based on like an old comic strip. It's one of the worst movies I've ever
I
seen.
never saw this.
He fucking loved that movie, and I was just like, we all walked out of the theater, like everyone was laughing at it, and he's like, I thought that was fucking good. I was like, there's just no shot you like that movie.
I remember seeing like the whatever for this, the picture or whatever. I never saw it though.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got, Dusty? I got some news. I hope you're going to talk about it, but maybe not because you blew me off in Discord about it.
oh, I don't know. Maybe. I was going to talk about Blade a little bit more. We talked about it a little bit last week.
Oh, I have a theory about Blade, by the way, and I developed it all on my own. After watching Chinatown a couple weeks ago, it unlocked the detective in me. I'm starting to put all the fucking pieces together. But give your news first, and then I'll give my theory. Because let me tell you what, salt water is bad for the glass. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Mia Goth is still attached to the Blade production. She's one of the few actresses or actors that still is, besides Mahershala Ali.
Mm-hmm.
But she's now in an unknown role because they scrapped the last story. She was supposed to be the vampire Lilith, who wanted to take the blood of Blade's daughter. This was going to be set in the 1920s. This is the news that the Hollywood Reporter gave us. But they've scrapped that story, and Eric Pearson is penning the current script. It's expected to be turned in by the end of summer and sent to directors. Pearson worked on Ragnarok and Black Widow, and he's also working on Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. Again, we don't know if this is ever going to come out, but it's expected. I think this is the fourth bump. So November 7th, 2025 is when Blade might happen.
Yeah, I read that. Fucking to set it at that time period, absolutely fucking asinine and stupid. However, I read a thing, and I didn't know this. I don't know why I didn't know this. Maybe you knew this, but I'm putting the fucking pieces together. And here we go. You ready for me to cook, Marvin?
Yeah.
Okay. Mahershala Ali is the one that approached Kevin Feige with the idea to do a Blade movie. Okay?
Okay.
Mahershala Ali, so this is totally... I don't know if this is 100% true or not, but he approached Kevin Feige, said, I want to do a Blade movie. And that set the wheels in motion. But apparently he wanted, control over it. I think he's the fucking reason that all this crazy shit's going on. Okay?
He's the problem.
I think he's the problem. Because...
he's got a no lose clause like The Rock.
If he no lose clause. No, but if he...
that's a real thing, right?
I do, yeah. But it makes sense, because if he went into the project with an idea in his head of what kind of story he wanted the movie to be, and some writers aren't maybe seeing it out the way that he wants, or whatever the case, we're just fucking going through directors and writers one after the other. He's the common denominator here.
Yeah.
It's not that complicated. There's no way you can't just settle on a story about a fucking day-walking vampire who fights other vampires.
Right.
We've already had 2 fantastic Blade movies prior to the age of comic book movies that Marvel started. Okay? In an era where comic book movies were terrible, those 2 Blade movies were great. Blade 2 is unbelievable. Blade 3 sucked, but it was even that one was all right.
They could have done a Blade movie when they announced this Blade movie, and he would have been in his 50s, just like Mahershala Ali is in his 50s right now. Wesley Snipes, when they announced it, 2019, he would have been 57 or something. By the time Mahershala Ali makes this movie, he's going to be 57.
I don't even really care about Mahershala Ali's age. You can make a dude look younger with makeup.
Well, I mean,
and
if
stuff,
you're going to bring a character like this out of the Marvel universe, you
agree.
want to make 2 or 3 or 4 movies, find somebody that's going to be in their, mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s that can do it for a while and doesn't going to look like they're going to age in 10 years.
But the other problem with the whole thing, I do think Mahershala Ali is the problem. I'm fairly certain at this point. He's the common thread. He's the common denominator. Whatever it is creatively, not jiving with him. But we don't even have this section, this area of this Marvel Cinematic Universe even explored yet. So
nope.
What are they doing? Blade is not a hard character to do. I'm sorry, it's just not. He's a fucking vampire hunter who also happens to be half vampire. It ain't hard. I think part of probably what's hard about it is I think they're very hesitant still, just they're dumbasses. Again, we just said executives are stupid. I think they're, even with Deadpool, I think there's a hesitancy to release a rated R film. And I think they're waiting on Deadpool to see how it performs, which, spoiler, it's gonna fucking perform great because people love Deadpool. I think Disney really has this belief that we can't have cursing in Disney, otherwise it's gonna turn off all the fucking kids. It's what? Kids grow up. They'll always have the kids movies for kids. Because you curse in a fucking Blade movie does not mean somebody can't watch Bambi and enjoy it.
Yeah. The Disney model is that it's for kids and it's kid friendly, and they are having a problem adopting the adult only friendly entertainment.
Well, let me tell you something. You're owned by fucking BlackRock. You ain't kid friendly.
Parents buy fucking Grand Theft Auto for their kids and Call of Duty for their kids. So it's like,
Yeah,
they're gonna take their kid to see the movie.
of course. That shit is.
And it's not like kids are subscribing to Disney Plus. It's parents.
I actually saw another funny video. Coincidentally, similar to the Star Wars Return of the Jedi premiere, I saw a video of the premiere of Alien. And it was like a dad with his little fucking kid, like knee-high kid. And the interviewer was like, did you know before taking your son to see this movie it was rated R? And he was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, do you regret taking your son to see this movie now that you've watched it? He's like, yeah, I do. And then he interviews the kid and he's like, did you think that movie was scary? He's like, yeah. he was like scarred for life. Very funny.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
What else you got? It's definitely the rated R thing. I feel like they don't know how to like do that. It's just ridiculous.
They don't. No. Sony is shutting down TriStar. TriStar's been around since 1986. Most notoriously known for being the Pegasus that flies onto your screen before the movie starts. It was actually a joint venture by Columbia Pictures, CBS, and HBO, but before it was shut down in 88, and then Sony picked it up in 91. Susan Gibbs ran in the division for a long time, but I guess she passed away in 2018, and her passing has led to the company not doing anything or putting it out, can't keep leadership. So they're rolling it into Sony Pictures Television. But it was just a department they already own, kind of like Sci-Fi USA Network. But anywho, yeah.
Okay.
They're shutting down TriStar, which makes this next headline even more funny because South Korean filmmaker Yun Sang-ho is making his first English language film for TriStar. I guess now Sony Pictures Television, since they're shutting that down.
Okay.
Right.
This is the director that did Train to Busan. He's making a film titled 35th Street. This is going to be an action horror film being produced by Leonardo DiCaprio's Appian Way and Wow Point. This is all we know about it so far, but an English action horror film from the Train to Busan director.
Nice.
Well, let's get it. Sounds good.
Have you seen Train to
TriStar
Busan?
Yeah, I have. Not the second one, but I saw the first one.
I heard the second one was not good. But
I think he did.
TriStar was like an
four of them now.
iconic icon like intro thing. So that's sad that they're going away.
Yep.
All right.
What else, Dusty?
Well, you guys probably won't care about this because I know you haven't watched the first season, but Gremlins: The Wild Batch is coming to Max this fall, so I'm excited.
Forgot about
this
it.
is a sequel to Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai,
forgetting.
season 1. So
Too much shit to watch.
too much shit to watch, but
Too much
yeah, I
shit
was
to
glad
watch.
they announced that.
Gremlins: Secrets of the
I think you're going to San
Mogwai
Francisco this time.
is the show.
Yep.
That was the animation.
Correct.
Is this one an animation?
Correct. Yeah, it's a sequel.
And what
They're
happened
just
to
calling it Gremlins: The Wild Batch.
And then we're still up in the air about a Gremlins actual sequel, right? A third one?
I don't think we're up in the air. I think it's pushing forward, but
it is. Okay.
Double check. But, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. All right.
And what else?
A little superhero news. John Hamm said in an interview that he passed on playing the Green Lantern in the DCU, and he's more interested in joining the MCU, to which I thought, why not both?
Yeah.
But okay. I mean, I actually like Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern better, I think.
I think Nathan
John Hamm
Fillion's
would've
great. I think a lot of people were upset. People are calling, cultists, Zack Snyder cultists are calling James Gunn racist because he didn't choose to do Hal Jordan, the black Green Lantern. But I am sure that Hal Jordan will probably have a place in the DCU at some point because he's just as popular as a character. So,
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Well, since you're on talking about DC, I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't have much comic book news.
We got some set photos released of Superman. I posted them in Discord. What'd you guys think?
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Again, Dan, you're trying to spoil it for me.
I'm not
I don't
spoiling
care.
anything. It's him. It's just a picture of him. You didn't look at the pictures at all?
No, I didn't.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Marvin, did you look at it?
I did.
Looks good, right?
It does. It does.
Well, I mentioned to Dusty last week that apparently they're going with a future retro theme for Metropolis, meaning sort of like Fallout, where it's like retro but in the future. So like a 1950s sort of aesthetic, but more of a futuristic version of that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
I like that too. And the reason I said I liked it is because it makes Metropolis feel like a place that doesn't exist in real life. And I like that. But the set photos are of two newspapers, and they're in like the newspaper thing that you would like pay a quarter to like open up and get the newspaper out of. Dispenser. And I mean, I guess spoilers, Dusty. I'm sorry. One of us of him stopping a train, and then one of us of him just standing like this in the classic Superman pose. And it made my nipples hard. Okay. And I just it looks so good. And here's the funny thing, right? In a normal world, I shouldn't be all worked up about pictures of Superman being Superman, but we've been starved of a good Superman for so many years, other than Tyler Hoechlin on the show, of course, that like just seeing Superman do Superman shit is like the internet is in an uproar. Like every comic book fan on earth is like, oh my God, this is going to be so fucking good. We're going to eat good with it. I think this movie's going to be very good. I'm still not super fan of the suit because I hate the new 52 fucking turtleneck shit. But maybe when we see it in motion, it'll be better. But I do think this movie's going to be good. I think James Gunn is cooking. I think he knows what he's doing.
You can make a good movie.
2025.
I just want to see a trailer. Like, give me a trailer. Like, next week, please.
It's a long ways off.
I know. But I do think it's going to be good. Those pictures, I was a big fan.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
Speaking of big budget movies, your boys, the Russo brothers,
I saw this
doing
one.
a movie with Netflix.
Yeah.
The Electric State reportedly has a $300 million budget, Marvin.
Ooh, big money.
Starring Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Ke Quan, Juan Carlo Esposito, Anthony Mackie, and Brian Cox.
They're making all that fucking Netflix money, the Russos.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
a third of that is going to the fucking actors. So good luck.
Big cast, big names,
Michelle
big
Yeoh.
dollars. We'll have to see if it's any good. But it's
in
coming
there.
to Netflix.
Is she
so we'll
actually?
be able to review it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. All right.
Billy Bob Thornton. Is all these people really in this? Jesus.
Just the whole fucking earth is in it.
Yeah.
My mom is in it.
Yeah.
Damn. Firecast.
Okay, so did you guys watch Beef season 1?
Nope.
Oh,
Beef?
okay. Well, it's a good show. All right.
No.
Pretty good show. Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan are going to star as the couple in Beef season 2. It was originally envisioned to be Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway, but that didn't work out. It's going to be Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan. This is going to be kind of like an anthology type series, kind of like True Detective, where it's just different people that have beef.
Oh, Beef is the one with the I know what you're talking about.
Road Rage.
Yeah, I heard it was with the what's his
I
name
haven't seen
from Walking Dead, Stephen Wynn. I heard it was good. I just hadn't watched it.
It's really good, actually. Yeah, I watched it and it was enjoyable.
I'll check it out.
It's crazy. Pretty crazy, but yeah. Okay, well, that's basically it. I got one more piece of news, unless you got anything else, Dan.
No, hit me. Hit us.
Okay, well, Hero Finds Tiffin has been set to star in Guy Ritchie's upcoming TV show, Young Sherlock. Now, Guy Ritchie did do the RDJ Sherlock movies, but this is not tied to the movies at any way at all. He's doing this for Amazon. It's based on Annie Lane's books. They're going to do 8 episodes.
I don't think he did the third one.
I thought there were only 2 with RDJ.
Wasn't there 3? Maybe not.
Think so.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right.
But anywho, he'll be Hero Finds Tiffin, and Guy Ritchie working together again, because the first time they worked together was in a little known movie called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
There it is.
Segue.
Apparently there is going to be a third one with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, they've been talking about it. It's up in the air. The
Okay.
show is definitely happening. There's a couple of Sherlock projects in the works, like if you're a Sherlock fan, but
Real quick. All right. Well, thank you for the news. Another excellent segue. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I think maybe it was like a year or two ago. I can't remember. I went on like a Sherlock fucking binge for a minute because I had never seen
the Benedict Cumberbatch show is great.
I hadn't seen the movies with Robert Downey Jr.
Mm.
And
I
so
haven't seen those
All
yet.
right.
they're actually really good. I think they're great. So I watched both
I mean,
movies.
yeah, it's good, but you comparing Sherlock to Sherlock, I think Benedict did a way better job in this series.
This happened when I got obsessed with like British crime shit for a minute. Like I had watched fucking who's our boy? Luther. I'd watched Luther and I was like, oh man, this shit is good. I need me some more British detection. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I never watched. Oh no, I'm sorry. It happened reverse. I never watched the Sherlock Holmes movies. I was like, oh wow, I can't believe I haven't seen these. I love Guy Ritchie. Let's watch them. I watched both movies. They were great. I was like, I need more of this. I need more Sherlock Holmes.
We need
then
some
I watched
Constantine, Dan.
Then
That's
I
what
watched.
We really need.
We do. Then I watched
right.
Sherlock, the show with Benedict Cumberbatch, and that show was great.
Yes.
And then I was like, wow, I need more British television. And then I watched Luther,
Period.
which didn't disappoint. But yes.
For sure.
So let's get into today's movie. We're talking about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And so I think it's safe to say, really, like Guy Ritchie, like, does not have a bad movie or thing
No.
at this point. Like, just banger after banger, really. You know,
You think so?
oh yeah, Lock, Stock, Snatch.
You could argue that Lock, Stock is better than Reservoir Dogs,
Mhm.
Tarantino's first movie.
There's an argument to be made there for sure. You know, I think Revolver, still good, not great. Rock'n'Rolla, the Sherlock Holmes movies, Man from U.N.C.L.E., fantastic. King Arthur, Aladdin even was like the best probably live action Disney film
That's
that they
the
did.
only
saw
movie
it.
of his I probably will never watch.
It's
I
really
have
good.
no interest.
It's good. I'm telling you, it's good.
I love his
That's-
movies, and I'm a huge fan. Like
Hey,
I will never give him a bad review.
I'm not going to
but I will
convince
not
you.
watch that movie.
I'm not going to convince you to watch it.
I'm not watching.
I'm just saying it's good, and I respect Will Smith because Will Smith, much like we mentioned with Mike Flanagan earlier, he took the character of Genie. Not only did he pay tribute and be respectful to Robin Williams' version, but he made it his own, and it was great.
Nice.
It was good.
Slap
But
him again.
then we got The Gentleman, fucking great.
Banger.
Wrath of Man.
Haven't seen it.
I think it's
I've
Wrath
been
of
meaning to watch the show, the Gentleman. They made a show based off that. A kid inherits.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very good. I have
This
not watched it
thing,
yet,
yeah.
but it's supposed to be. I hadn't heard a single bad thing about it. Wrath of Man, I think, is one of Jason Statham's better movies.
It is, yes.
Oh wow.
So this guy, Guy Ritchie, like he, in my opinion, can't miss. The only movie of his I have not seen yet is The Covenant, and I know you watched it, and I know you said it was good, Dusty. The one
Yeah.
with Jake Gyllenhaal. So does his streak continue?
Yeah. Well, no, wait. You didn't watch the. Oh yeah. No, there was another one you didn't watch because that was the one with Aubrey Plaza and Jason Statham in it, where there was a heist film.
Not a Guy Ritchie movie. Oh, Operation Fortune. You're right.
Yeah, Operation Fortune.
Forgot about that one. Okay, so there's two I haven't watched.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, listen,
Which is great. Like, it's hilarious. You should definitely watch that.
he makes bangers. That's all I'm here to say. And does the streak continue
Mhm.
with his latest here, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare? So this stars is crazy. Like
You've seen some of those movies we listed off, right, Marvin? This isn't your first Guy Ritchie.
This is probably my first Guy Ritchie.
sounds like it's going to be his
and-
last. I could tell already.
This was a solid movie. Like it definitely was not a banger whatsoever. The Nazi killing was great. The
Always
middle
good to kill
dragged
some
on quite a
Nazis.
bit,
Always good to kill some Nazis.
but I just could not even focus on this movie. Like I don't know,
That's
it
fair.
was kind of just a little boring, actually. Like I don't know, maybe just the standard like action movie just doesn't really do it for me anymore. Like there wasn't anything spectacular about this.
That's
It
fair.
was just an action Nazi killing, and I enjoyed. It wasn't a movie, but that showed the hunters, the Nazi killing. That was like a better, like Nazi killing
Right.
media or whatever for me. Like this was just kind of okay. It was all right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, we got in typical Guy Ritchie fashion, we got like a huge ensemble cast. We got Henry Cavill as Gus March Phillips, Alan Richardson as Anders Lassen.
Ritchson.
No, it's Is it Ritchson, isn't it?
R-I-C.
R-I-T-C-H-S-O. R-I-T-C-H-S-O-N.
Oh yeah, Ritchson.
You're fucking me up with your Biden shit tonight. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Good.
It's
You
Alan.
sound like you said Richardson.
I
was
did
like,
say
no.
Richardson, but it's Ritchson. Sorry. We're both Bidening out. We're getting old. Poor Marvin's got to deal with two geriatrics.
Ritchson.
I know.
Ritchson. Alan Ritchson, who, by the way, fucking dwarfs Henry Cavill. And Henry Cavill's like a big dude. This Alan Ritchson guy, he is a freak of nature. He is tremendous. Okay?
He is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this movie, but they're like our two main stars, I guess. And this is actually very loosely based on a true story. In the film, the British military recruits a small group of highly skilled soldiers to strike against German forces behind enemy lines during World War II. And they're sort of like a secret band of like, I don't know if I want to say like, you know, like they're not
Black Ops.
Yeah, kind of, but
like inspired like that type of thing, right? That's what I was reading about.
It inspired like special forces.
100%. Yeah, it was one of the first Black Ops type missions per se, because he knew he would go away if they got caught. But
I may be wrong, but I think like U.S. Special Forces was really developed, I think, by Kennedy during Vietnam. I think that was like the first. There were special forces in World War II. There were like frogmen and like guys who would like plant bombs and shit under boats and stuff for sure. I think that's what the frogmen is what evolved into Navy SEALs.
Yeah, the Marines have been around for a long time.
Totally, but the Marines aren't really special forces. They're just like a branch of the Navy. Well, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about Marines. I know Marines like to be tough and stuff, but like they're not Navy SEALs. Let's just say that. So I don't. But either way,
shout out to all the veterans out there.
Yeah, I think this probably did inspire like later versions of what special forces would evolve into. But
yeah,
this is loosely based on a real story that was only recently, I think,
a real guy, who had said in the movie it was inspired. James Bond story arc.
This event was actually inspired by a real thing, a real mission called Operation Postmaster, which was only recently exposed by Winston Churchill's book, a book about Winston Churchill's, I guess, stories of this thing. It's a 2014 book. It's called Churchill's Secret Warriors, the explosive.
An autobiography of sorts.
Kind of. It's called Churchill's Secret Warriors, the explosive true story of the Special Forces Desperadoes of World War II. It was written by a guy named Damien Lewis. That's supposedly a more faithful telling of the real-life Operation Postmaster during World War II. And from what I've read, the story of the film is pretty accurate in terms of like the events that took place. It's the characters and how they acted and stuff that he took liberties with. Like some people were like melded together for sure. Yeah. But Guy Ritchie loves a good shoot 'em up, and this movie's no exception. And yeah, I don't disagree with Marvin. I think I don't know if this is one of his better movies. It's great. Great's a stretch. It's good. I enjoyed it. But there's not much there outside of like just some mindless like shoot 'em up stuff. I think one of the key features of a Guy Ritchie movie is that they're usually very funny. I didn't really find this movie that funny, to be honest.
I don't know. I didn't either. Yeah.
I think like the comedy part of this movie Guy Ritchie's movies, like the characters, like they have like a banter, and there's like a charm to like British comedy, and it's like all in the banter and like the dryness of it. This movie didn't really have that to me. It was more of just like the comedy elements of this movie was just the fact that this group of guys were like super casual about like the thing that they were doing. Yeah. That wasn't casual at all. They were on like this super top secret fucking shoot 'em up all or nothing mission, and they're like very casual about it and very casual about how they go about it and killing all the people that they killed, which I didn't really find that funny. Not the killing, I just didn't find that they were like casual as funny. It just, I don't know, I didn't really laugh through it. So I get what you're saying, because I did sort of like drift off a little bit watching it, and you know, I was on my phone a little bit. I struggled to keep my attention through a lot of it as well. But I think I overall mostly enjoyed it. What about you, Dusty?
I enjoyed it more than you guys, I guess. But like I said, Guy Ritchie can't go wrong. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know. Have you guys seen Matt Damon trying to explain Jack Nicholson trying to explain how a scene in The Departed was funny when he kills the guy? He's like, yeah, you know what would make it really funny is if he falls over. And I'm like, well, he kind of fell funny.
Right.
Like there's a scene in the movie where Henry is running around killing people, and he's like, he kind of fell funny. And I just like, I don't know, I pick up some of that stuff. Like his carelessness and just like killing people and having fun with it was, I thought it was hilarious. Like he didn't give a fuck. And the seriousness of it, I don't know, that's why I liked it, I guess. But I enjoyed the levity of, this is some serious shit and everybody could die and we could fucking get, tortured or whatever. But let's bring some levity to it. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I actually did like about it. And I put it in my notes because I have mentioned probably recently that like I found out I don't really like war movies, really, like American war movies, because they're always the same like American exceptionalist fucking bullshit, in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, there are war movies that I do like. Of course, I like Saving Private Ryan. It's a great movie. Of course. Yeah. I love Black Hawk Down. It's one of my favorite movies. I love Tears of the Sun. I think it's a great movie. So they exist, but I feel like I'm kind of over it. And those movies are all like dead serious, like war movies. I think going forward, I would prefer a movie like this because it is a war movie. It's about World War II. It's about a little mission in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like Dusty said, it's more of a fun, like sort of lighthearted take on a real event rather than there's a place for like a super straightforward, like fucking almost biopic sort of like Black Hawk Down or even the show Band of Brothers or whatever. Like there's something to be said about those, but I think I would prefer something like this going forward.
Yeah, this is more lighthearted and fun and mindless,
and it's about something I had no idea about. I never heard of Operation Postmaster until this movie. So it's like
same.
It was effective in that like I was like, wow, this is a piece of history that I never knew about. And that like Churchill, like I knew a little bit about the history of like how the U.S. entered World War II, but like Churchill sort of had to like massage the U.S. into entering the war, right? So. Whereas if a movie about World War II comes out here in the U.S., it's like, or if it's made by like a U.S. person, it's usually like fucking like America fucking everybody wanted us to join the war because we're the best and like we win things. It's like, okay. I did like this take. Like us entering the war for other people involved, the other allies, was like a strategic thing. You know what I mean? It wasn't because we're the best at what, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I like that. I think the actual mission is super interesting. That like this was a thing.
It is.
And
I can get Marvin's complaint though. Like I can see how like losing a little bit of interest. There was some stuff, and this is maybe the Guy Ritchie does it a little bit too much. The setup for things, and you get this a lot in heist movies and stuff, I guess. But I mean, seeing all the soldiers, talking about the soldiers going to the party, then seeing the soldiers going to the party, then seeing the soldiers at the party, and watching them lock the door of the soldiers in the party, and then watching the soldiers try to get out.
He does that a lot.
And like, you could have, it didn't need to be 2 hours. This could have been a fun hour and a half movie. There was a lot of stuff in there that could have maybe kept the pace going so it didn't feel like a drag. So I get the complaint, but I mean, it's Guy Ritchie
was just
wit all the way through it, so I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yeah, that, and it was just a lot of them just on the boat, so it left a lot on the other two. The I forgot her name. The lady and the casino
Marjorie.
owner or whatever.
Marjorie and Harry.
It left a lot on them. Like, it had a really good. I like the cast.
Cast was great.
I think it was well acted. I guess I wish it was maybe, like Dan said, maybe written a little better with some funnier dialogue, because like
I thought the
comedy was basically like Henry Cavill calling people like old boy and like some nicely timed explosions and shit like that. Yeah. Like, but it wasn't anything really funny outside of that.
Well, here's the thing. So it's how you look at comedy, right? Like,
sure,
it's not comedy in the way of like watching a Seth Rogen movie where you're gonna get like dick and fart jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like a lot of like, I don't know. It's like elevated comedy where it's like it's about timing. And like you said, like things that happen in like the back, like a well-timed explosion, like could be funny if it's like, cause they're waiting for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all funny things. And like, I do enjoy dry humor, and I love like dialogue that is, I don't know how to say, I like when words are funny. Like, I don't know how to even say it properly. Like I like when things aren't just like obviously funny. You know what I mean? Like they're just funny, but like it's a different type of humor than somebody like making you laugh or something. I don't know. Yeah. But so I think the movie was funny. I just didn't find it that fun personally. Like, I know that there would be people that would, is the point I'm trying to make, right?
I can see what they were going for. Yeah.
And it's Guy Ritchie's shtick to do heist film. So I appreciate the fact that this was like a little piece of history turned into like a heist movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I do think the cast was really good. Like, like Henry Cavill's a fucking good actor. This poor guy, man. Like this poor fucking guy. Like, he just gets the shit end of the stick, and all he wants to do is make his favorite things. Superman got fucked. Witcher got fucked. It's like, poor guy. He's a good actor.
He is, yeah.
And I thought everybody in the movie was great. I thought that girl Marjorie Stewart was great. I'm sorry, the character Marjorie Stewart, played by Eiza González, she was great. I haven't seen her before. She's apparently like really famous. She has like 7 million followers on Instagram. I had never heard of her up until now. There's one guy in the movie whom I recognized from one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid, still one of my favorite movies. His name is Till Schweiger. He played Heinrich Rühr, the guy that she was trying to like, I guess, seduce or whatever.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He plays a psychotic drug dealer in Salt Lake City Punk. I don't know if either of you have seen it, but it's one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. This little indie
SLC
film.
Punk, yeah. Classic.
Oh, I've seen that. I actually have seen that.
Have you actually?
I've seen that, yeah.
That's so funny that you've seen that. But yeah, he's in it. And he plays the drug dealer.
He's well known. He's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I thought he was really great in this. So like, I thought the cast was really good. I like, you mentioned writing, like that. I said the writing was not bad, but
I didn't say that you said it was bad.
No, I know.
You said it. Yeah, I just said it could have been written better, so that it could have been funnier. The dialogue.
Well, what I want to clarify, like, I think the writing was great. I don't think the writing was bad at all. I just personally, and I guess you didn't, like, it just didn't strike the funny chord in me. But I could see why other people would. Like, and that's the thing about like British humor. It's like very, very like dry, and also like, if you know, it's either you find it funny or you don't. Like, I think if you watched Lock, Stock, like, you would probably laugh in that movie a lot, because I think it's a funnier movie, personally.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
it absolutely is.
But it's a different type of movie, right? That takes place in like modern day. This is like back in World War II. So that was kind of my thing with it.
Did you think the action was like good? It was just kind of like whatever, like just like silencer kills, just like, oh, whatever. Yeah. I just shot down a whole room of people with my silenced weapon, and like just mowing people down with, you know, but it was like,
I think that was supposed to be what was funny, is what I think.
Oh yeah, I guess so. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's something like this type of action doesn't do it. Maybe in like I'm trying to think of like a really good like.
Have you watched Argyle
action.
yet, Marvin?
I haven't. No.
Oh boy.
Like
the action in that one is
like John Wick.
ridiculous.
Like the action in John Wick is like not boring at all. I feel like it's like
it's more
the
realistic.
pinnacle of action, and this is just like I don't know. It's just
Well, I think it's weird in this movie because it's not meant to be like a serious war movie. Like you're not watching people do tactical shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
that's
easier to
true,
move the plot along with the cheesiness of like we've got suppressed fucking 22 automatic weapons than the slow stealthness of espionage and what it actually would be.
And there's a dichotomy here in this movie where it's like, you know, a goofy fucking this dude with a fucking bow and arrow like hunting people. It's just a dichotomy of like what?
It wasn't goofy. That was badass.
It's not goofy to watch a guy fucking kill like literally 25 people in a facility of like a well-guarded. Awesome. Yeah, I mean,
they were so incompetent.
When I say silly, it's like that obviously never would happen in real life. Is what's silly about it. It's like that's the movie. It's like it's a dichotomy of like this serious point in history versus like the casual nature of these guys. That's what was supposed to be funny. Of like at the end where they're just walking casually, like, maybe we could take that car and like save some shoe leather, and they're just like casually like shooting people. Like that's the thing is like the dichotomy of it. I think personally, but again, didn't really strike the funny chord.
I see the vision. I mean, I get it, but
what this really felt like to me was like sort of an audition. I feel like of a Guy Ritchie James Bond movie, if I'm being honest, because the character, Dusty mentioned it briefly, but the character that Henry Cavill was playing, Gus March Phillips, allegedly was the inspiration for the character of James Bond. So I don't think there's any argument to be made that like Henry Cavill couldn't play a good Bond. I think he would be a great James Bond.
Oh, absolutely you would, yeah. Well, I mean,
I think so too.
Age is starting to become a concern, but
yeah, but I mean, James Bond has been established into the culture as like he could be a one-off, but just a one-off.
Yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of actors that did 1 or 2 movies, and what Pierce only did 2. Pierce did
4.
Did he do 4?
Pretty sure it was GoldenEye, and then it was
Tomorrow Never
Dies.
And I thought there was just one more.
And then it was
A
Good Day to Die Young or something.
I don't know.
Let's see, Pierce Brosnan Bond movies.
And then what's his name? Dave was. I don't know. I'm terrible with names, so.
Die Another Day?
Yeah, Die Another Day. It was 4. It's GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day.
Oh, The World Is Not Enough. He did. That's right.
Yeah. Interesting. I had a conversation recently about Bond. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but like Bond is like he's in the cultural zeitgeist to where like I don't think age matters. Just that's what I wanted to say. As long as you
absolutely. You could do an old Bond film. They've done it, but you're only going to get 2 or 3 movies out of them, not more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so apparently this guy did inspire the character of James Bond. And I thought it was interesting that like an actor who would kill a James Bond role got to play the guy who inspired James Bond. And honestly, I think a Guy Ritchie James Bond movie could be good. Like, because James Bond films are usually like dead serious action movies, but like, why couldn't we have like a more like comedy?
I can see it.
Action movie with Bond, like change it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, you go back to the old James Bond. There's plenty of comedy and wit in those old Roger Moore and
totally. Roger Moore is the best Bond. Just saying. Actually, Pierce Brosnan's my favorite Bond. He holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any of the Bond movies, Marvin?
I saw Die Another Day, I think.
You've never seen GoldenEye? The one that inspired the fucking classic N64 shooter? Come on. How have you not
mean
seen
the overrated
GoldenEye?
64 shooter?
Whatever you feel about the
That
game,
one?
how can you not have seen the movie?
You can still play the game. I think on
just-
Steam they did a remake of it.
Can't believe you think
Oh,
that
wow.
game
I
is
know that.
overrated. That's fucking wild.
Perfect Dark's better.
It is better. It's the better
It just
version
is
of the
what it
game.
is.
It's the more advanced version of the game for sure. But like, goddamn, GoldenEye is so good. But yeah,
I've
so
never seen it.
back to this movie. I don't know. It was good. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I'll probably never watch it again. I don't think it's in the pantheon of like great Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah, it kind
know.
of sucks that this was like my
Okay.
first Guy Ritchie. I'm like,
Yeah, we should. I mean, I maybe want
like
to
on the
change
fence
to make
about him
Marvin
now.
watch next week.
You have a week to
like,
change it.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
this
I
movie
think I
it just should have been funnier. If the action wasn't gonna be good, it should have been funnier.
Yeah, we're gonna change it to the Guy Ritchie's first film. And we're gonna
Okay.
do that. So
Yeah, I didn't.
sorry, Three Amigos. About this movie, I did find it interesting. Like this is we were going back to our social commentary earlier about a movie. This is a Nazi movie. We still have some great diversity. We still have some interesting messaging that is not like in your face, but it's there. Like a lady who, is skilled enough and trained in a rifle to outshoot a man and, be
Yeah.
competent about it, but not also so badass that she can fight her way out of handcuffs and through 5 or 6
Yeah.
fucking different men.
But even so, why couldn't she? Who cares?
Well, you get in outside the realm of plausibility, but then you even have like Alan's character Anders, like is a gay guy, and he made some comments, and it's just
That
not
was
too much
funny.
in your face. Like it was there, but it was funny, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a message per se,
Yeah.
as our favorite guy, Critical Drinker, likes to say. But
No, one issue I did have with, I guess, probably like every character, like they were all just like untouchable. Like every enemy they came across just died. There was no resistance whatsoever. They never really had an obstacle. It was just, they're all just Avengers.
yeah, I mean, according to the mission, those are the people that survived and were awarded the medals. So, I mean, there were a couple that got shot up and awarded and then later died. But I mean, you kind of gotta. They have what do you call that? The shield. The plot shield. They have it because
But it was
they all survived.
strong. I mean,
Sure.
even if they all survived, they could at least give them like some sort of struggle in a fight or something, like these guys just mowed over everyone without even like blinking. Like it was just no resistance at all from any of our Nazis.
Well, I
It
think
seems like it gets a little hectic when they're on the boat and they're all taking fire. But that's really like the only point when they're still in the bay and they're trying to get out and they're taking fire. Like it's the only time
Yeah.
it really seems like they're in trouble. And you're like, oh my God, are they going to make it out? But
Well, here's the
other
thing,
than
right?
that, yeah, plot proof. I get it. I get that.
The tension helps. I mean, the tension helps you care also like about these characters. Like, oh shit. But if they're just mowing everything down without breaking a sweat, it's like, oh, okay, well.
They're just laughing about it.
see, I don't know that. See, I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. But I think in this case, it's not really meant to be taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
In that, like, you're not watching a group of people like, oh man, like that wouldn't really happen. Like, it's almost like cartoonish in a way. You know what I mean? Same with Inglourious Bastards. Have you seen that one, the Tarantino one?
Mm-mm.
That's probably the best Nazi killing movie. But
Sisu was pretty good.
yeah, so it's like, again, that's a movie that's like, it's more serious, but it's like it's not meant to be taken seriously because it's just like profoundly like unrealistic action.
Yeah.
This is that too, but in a more like lighthearted comedic way. Which is
Yeah.
why I say
Well,
like the
But you could do both. Like,
but what I'm
I don't
saying,
know, have you guys seen Hunters? Like that
No.
one was like super cartoonish and all that,
I
but
watched
there was
the
still
first-
like
was there just
some
one season
tension.
or was there more?
there was 2 seasons.
Okay, yeah, I didn't watch the second season.
I agree with you that
There was
there's
tension and stuff in that, but
Mhm.
like this, there's no stakes, there's no tension really. It's like
I agree. I did care about the characters towards the end though. I didn't want them to die. And not knowing the story,
I
I
agree.
didn't know what would happen. So that was kind of neat. But yeah, I just think it was like more of a cartoonish way to showcase this stuff. And also, I think you could kind of take it as, this is just me like speculating, but like an operation like this that was only recently declassified to the public, like this is like the visual representation of the game of telephone that people would say. It's like, oh, did you hear about that fucking mission that happened where like 4 guys went up against like 800 people? Like,
right.
This is almost sort of like that in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a bad movie.
It's told in the way of like how you would read a story on the back of a cereal box on Saturday morning. And like, it's kind of fun, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like to me.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you think you would enjoy war movies that are like this more. I don't know if I agree.
Just a little more lighthearted.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree.
It might just be the American war movies that I don't like because they always just have that like stench of American exceptionalism of like, which I just, I don't get along with. But that doesn't mean they're bad movies. I don't know. One thing I will say, maybe I'm woke, but maybe we need to just move on from like the mindless Nazi killing, right?
We've had our fair share.
I think we've had our fair share.
We got enough.
Like not, what'd you say, Dusty?
They're never going to stop making World War II movies.
No,
ever.
I don't mean World War II movies. I mean movies where like Nazis are treated as like not human beings. Like I get the Nazis did like some fucking heinous and crazy shit in history.
Yes.
But there were a lot of them who were just like doing what they were told. That doesn't make it right. But in film, they are treated as just like bodies of like, oh, it doesn't fucking matter.
The Nazi movie we skipped about the people that lived right outside Auschwitz or whatever. Was that a Wes Anderson movie?
No, it wasn't Wes Anderson. The fuck was the name of that movie?
Which one?
The Oscar movie.
The Fall?
No.
Oh no.
Zone of Interest.
We didn't watch that one.
Yeah. No. But Zone of Interest, like that's an interesting. But I don't mean I just mean specifically of like they're just like bodies to kill. Like they're just shoot 'em ups. Like I don't know. There's just like no real nuance. Like I'm not saying we should be like, oh man, like let's feel bad for fucking Nazis and stuff. But also like,
I mean, Nazis in the face.
Okay, yeah. I take it back a little bit because he did let that one kid go who was like scared shitless.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Okay, that's fine.
You gotta let one go.
Well, because
so
like
somebody can tell the story.
Well, but he's a kid, fucking doing what he's like. He has no choice in the. You know what I mean? Like he might not have.
Fuck that.
He might not.
I ain't letting no Nazis go.
Yeah, but I mean, Henry showed so much incredulity when he was doing it. Like even when he left his own people's office, he's like, "Hey, you want a cigar? Sorry, fuck you."
Yeah.
Like
the
amount of disdain that he had for anybody and everybody was pretty impressive.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I mean, overall, I don't think the movie was bad. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Could it have been funnier? Yes. I do agree with Marvin that like the plot armor of the characters and stuff was like, it left a little bit like to be, I guess, on the edge of your seat over. But I did care about the characters, so that's something. Like, right? Like, towards the end of the movie. And here we are again, like weird imbalance between the audience score and the critic score. It's got a 70% fresh from the critics, but a 93% fresh from the audience. So isn't that interesting?
I don't trust the audience this time.
Like here's a couple of bad reviews. Like Guy Ritchie is not the person to be emulating Inglourious Basterds or any decent World War II mission movie. Starts with promise, bores for much of the middle, and then climaxes in a jumble of editing that resembles just pieces together random shots. I did feel a little bit of that, not gonna lie.
Damn.
For some reason, maybe the based on a true story label or the distaste for making comical villains out of Nazis, the action sequences feel labored and listless. The irony here is undeniable. It feels like Ritchie's playing it safe with a movie about guys who break the rules to get the job done.
Oh.
I don't get it.
Does he do that a lot or something? Or I don't know.
Not necessarily. I mean, his movies are about criminals most of the time.
Yeah.
Or people who like skirt the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's okay.
Ritchie goes for glossy in this highly modified, super stylized World War II treatment. Well paced, and hyper violent enough to lull us into forgetting underlying horrors. All the swagger you'd want from a Guy Ritchie movie is completely absent here. That I do agree.
Damn.
That's the main takeaway.
Really?
Yeah, I do think that. I do think a lot of what makes a good Guy Ritchie movie was not in this movie, to be perfectly honest. Like,
Oh, so this okay.
it wasn't outwardly funny. Like the heist wasn't super interesting because they were gonna blow up a boat, and then all of a sudden it's like, we got to steal it, and then it was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I totally relate. Like they spend an hour getting to the mission, and then they basically spend an hour doing the mission.
Right.
And it's like, all right, we could have trimmed this down.
Yeah. I think I agree with I think I agree with a lot of this stuff. It was decent enough. Let's go check the
decent
enough. Do you guys have any other things you want to say about it?
No, it's worth the watch.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely worth a watch. Definitely not Guy Ritchie's best, but definitely also I don't think his worst. But that's because I haven't watched Aladdin. So
I mean, listen, Aladdin's better than this. It is. It just is.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's got a 6.9 on IMDb. I would probably drop that down. I would probably give it like a 6.
Yeah, I'm right there. 6 for me.
I give it a 7.
So you enjoyed it. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. I liked it. I watched it twice, and it was funny both times.
That's fair.
But like I said, I'm a Guy Ritchie fan, so
I am too. That does not excuse you.
So
No,
well, I guess tune in next week and we'll talk about Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels and see what the difference is. That'll be interesting.
Is that it? Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, might as well.
Let's go.
Okay.
Go back
A
to
real
the
Guy
original,
Ritchie film.
the first Guy Ritchie movie. Mark.
Not this watered
maybe
down
Marvin
Guy
won't
Ritchie.
like that.
Damn, that'll be the true judge right there.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, it's British, so it's like I can understand why. Like, that's not a Make Marvin watch where I would be like appalled if you didn't like it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Lock, Stock.
Yeah, if he didn't like it, I'd be like, all right, it's fair because it's the British.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different type of humor than he's like exposed to, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, Shaun of the Dead was funny.
That is fair. That's fair.
I like British humor though. Like,
all right, that's fair.
Like,
maybe I'm not giving you enough credit. Okay. Well,
yeah, this is
We'll tune in next week to find out if Marvin likes Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Yeah, let us know what you guys thought of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, I think it's worth a watch. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be perfect. Sometimes you could just turn your brain off and watch some shit.
True.
If you have not done
so, it's
so,
a fun action popcorn flick. That's all it really is.
Yeah, totally. Give the video a like and leave a comment letting us know what you thought. It helps us out greatly. Consider subscribing if you have not done so already. We would greatly appreciate it. And you heard it here. Next week, Marvin's watching Lock, Stock. So come back and find out what he thinks. We'll see you then, and we appreciate you guys watching.
See ya.
Costa.